Good morning in there, out there, in there. From in here, out here. Need a slurp to start. Here's Vivi. Hi, Viv. Say hi to everybody. Let's do a high five. There we go. High five. There. Okay. Oh, well, there's lots of news to cover today, and we have only a few minutes. I can't imagine what each of you is experiencing, if it's at all like Julie and I. We're really working hard at caring about what matters. Our friend Ruth Swald, who's just a remarkable poet, a baker beyond compare, and a sheep farmer, and does shamanic work, and on and on and on and on and on, right, Ruth? And she came yesterday with two wonderful poems, of course, and she was,
I know what you want.
And she was asking me, how do you maintain hope during this monstrous time? And I said, I don't. But I don't not hope either. I just don't try not to if I get hope, then that's what I'm paying attention to. And if I tried not to hope, then that's what I'm paying attention to. So I'd rather pay attention to Julie and this character and the two little cat buffaloes that are running around. Here comes one sneaking up. Molly. Right, Viv, that's your sister Molly. Yeah, everybody likes seeing you and not just enjoy it. Yeah. Like this. That's our buddy. So, Ruth directed the soul collage last Saturday, and if you've never done a soul collage, I really recommend it. It's so helpful and so insightful, and boy, did I find out some stuff. It was one of the most powerful ones for this guy. It was about animals and picking out an animal, looking at all these different animals and finding one that feels like the cat is crawling up the camera. She's crawling up. Julie is coming to the rescue by holding it. Vivi's grabbing me and shaking hands. And my animal was a giraffe. And I couldn't shake it out of me, out of my consciousness. And the giraffe, and I realized that, I've always, since a kid, I'd kind of stick my neck out, sort of doing what the other guys weren't, I guess. And yet that would make me afraid, that I was going to be criticized or whatever. So it fit. The giraffe had to run pretty fast to get away from predators. So here we just try to keep all the people who are personally important to us, and that's a lot of people, in mind. And it's been a hard week, a trauma, grief-ridden week for us, and we won't go there for you because it doesn't apply. But we're doing okay, and it's spring, and you know what? Look out there. And when it's spring, which is almost spring, but it's spring, and that means in Michigan that it's practical joke time. That means that, as I'm looking out the window and it's heading up toward 50 degrees and on our outdoor thermometer, and before you know it, it's going to snow. And then it'll be, it's spring, and the poor little flowers come up, and the crocus go, and the stronger ones last, and then in April, it's spring. Now, there's another snow, and that's the way it is. And I'm here. I'm being pawed. I have to bribe you to keep you with us, don't I? I really do. I have to do that. It's been really fun to watch the ice change on the pond. I don't know if you can see it out there, but it changes different shapes now that it's melting a bit, and there's a lot more water in there. Vivi, I'm going to pull your leash, because we have to have you star in this show. The people don't, they're here for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, that's right. They're here for you. Yeah, so the ice has been really great. And cranes are going over. Holy cow. You know how they go, they have such a different call than the geese. So you can always tell. And they've been going over. Viv, down. Down. Stay. 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 Yeah, stay here with me. Down. Vivi, down. Stay. Okay, stay. Good girl. Good girl. Really good girl. What an amazingly good girl. I'm going to have to slurp, so she's probably going to leave. She likes our bed. She goes to sleep there in the morning. Isn't it awful what Muss is doing? I call him Muss. 1,300 education people fired, not let go, just fired. And they like to use the word fired. Okay, I give up. Okay, I give up. I said that. And 1,300, and we're in educational difficulty trying to find teachers. And as I've said 100 times, our daughter teaches, 674 kids. But we're going to fire those people in the ed department because, we got to get rid of that stuff. Hey, if you check Substack or, YouTube kind of things, Carrie Newcomer has a program on there with Parker Palmer called The Gathering Storm.
No.
And Carrie's, The Growing Edge. The Gathering Storm.
That's really
Well, there is.
That's really good.
Yeah, thanks to Julie, The Growing Edge. Yes, that's it. And Parker Palmer's away for a while, so Carrie's doing her own kind of talk show called Around the Kitchen Table, and she just released the one that she did with this guy, and it's fun. It's kind of nice just to hang out with Carrie and me. So I think you'd enjoy it, especially probably during this time. And Julie's still laughing about the exploding sideways or whatever I
I
said.
think somebody needs to do the growing storm.
The growing storm. Yes, there it is. Yeah. We have such wonderful neighbors, and we had some over the other night. And what's so good is there's firemen and nurses and welders and tool and die. They can fix anything for us, etc. Our Congressman Heisinger defended Mush for got to get rid of those teachers. Oh man, thank you. And then you get the thing back. Dear Mr. Riddle, thank you for giving attention to such and such, and oh yeah, my congressman. Ho, ho, ho. How about Mush referring to a military hero and an astronaut, and he called him a traitor? How do you do that? Unless you're insane and horrible and vicious and monstrous. How's this for a profound protest? This is really good too. In our little church, there's a group of 5 to 7 people. We have a very well under feet pastor. We have 2 pastors, husband and wife, And the wife's she's tiny. She's a little person. But is that okay? She's short. Okay, now Julie's head is nodding. She's short. I don't know. I mean, she's not. You're right. She's short. Well, during the Lord's Prayer, we decided instead of standing and where people couldn't see because of the people in front of them, that we'd all sit. Except for these. And they actually stayed during the Lord's Prayer. And it never seems to dawn on them. The people behind them are, having... No. Okay, remember the word polite? Yeah. Oh, this is great. I noticed there was a barrel of corn that we had outside the garage. And I noticed there was a hole about like this in the lid. So I informed Julie of this, and yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, anyway, she went out to distribute the corn into the woods because something had gotten into it. Well, what had gotten into it was still in it, and it was a mouse, and it could barely move. It was beyond hefty.
And it's little tiny feet. Well, it is a great place to be. And this much corn to eat for, ever.
So that was cool. And, I finished Garrett Stack's book, The Duke of Ash Avenue, and it's a wonderful book. And he's been so kind to me. How's our time, Julie? Are we doing okay? Uh-oh. We're down to 3 minutes. Well, I want to tell you one little sweet story. About a year and a half ago or so, I started working one-on-one with one of my former students at the college, Allison Lake. And she's been through more traumas than a whole gang of people. And she started to write, or went back to writing poems. And they've been really, I've assured her, they're really fine and terrific. And of course, it's hard to believe your own stuff, because how do you measure something original? And there she was, and then she put together a manuscript, and she submitted it. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Submitted it. Admitted it. That deserves a slurp. Oh boy. To Julie. I don't even think I don't know. I'd be living in a box down by the river without Julie. Anyway, Allison submitted it to Cabin Carey. Didn't mention me, that she knew me, because you're not allowed to do that. And she submitted it, and there were 500 and some manuscripts submitted, and they picked 6 or 7. Every judge named hers first. Holy cow. She called me. We were both dancing around the room and yelling, and what a celebration that was. I mean, that's just remarkable, and that's how remarkable she is. Yeah. I mean, and can you imagine? I mean, it's like Proud Papa or something. I mean, there's so much joy for this guy, for her, and it's just one of those wonderful things that comes your way. Gosh. So anyway, let's keep going, and let's read a poem. Where's my little book? There it is. Somewhat appropriate, and I'm always wanting to wish you well, and I always picture the people who have told me they watch, and it's really fun. I pretend like you're right out there, So this is called Just Before Spring. When you're this old, you have to learn about the day every day. as the water heats, create some kind of life before you finish your morning coffee. There was a time when all I knew was how to... There was a time when all I knew how to do was play with the puppets. It was their world. I could build a fort, sit there and feel its safety for any loving length of time. I could play ball and collect acorns in a tin box. Of course, I could do this now, do it all again. Carl Jung did. But every day it's the same chair waiting for when the dog finds my lap. I wonder about last night, why the wind brought rain from the north. I wonder what lonely force brought hate. Why now the sky is cloud empty. The only risk is a walk to town to buy another cup of coffee, maybe this time a latte. Maybe someone will be there who has found a home in the past, one with toy trains, Lincoln logs, maybe a town built of cardboard where your sixth grade shyness lived, and the girl who smiled at you every day moved in next door. Take care. Try to be cheerful. Be kind. Thanks for being with us.